What what up, gang? We're back with a recap of UFC 281. Some crazy, crazy fights went down, and we're here to break everything down from bottom to top, top to bottom. My boy Harley, you know what I'm saying? Another successful night. Man, what 9-5?
95, baby. Almost
Yeah,
went 10-4. My girl, Gomez Juarez, or maybe I said it backwards, but y'all get what I'm saying.
yeah,
Man, hey, that was a heartbreaking loss for me. But look, on the
yeah.
winning side again, 4-1 on the main card. Uh, Nailed the main event. But we're gonna get into all that overall. Another successful night, baby. I'll take it all day.
Straight up, straight up. We both had winning records. He went 9-5. I went 8-6. But next week I got his ass. He's 2 weeks on
Hey,
me right now. But next week I got his ass. Promise you.
2-0, baby. 2-0.
All right, so we're gonna start off with the first fight, quick fight, and I'm gonna let you talk all the mess you want, bro. Carlos Ulberg versus Nikolai Negumereanu, first round TKO, man. You thought about it?
Man, look, like I said in the preview pod, man. Look, I'm not even trying to toot my own horn. I'm being serious about this. Well, of course, I'm gonna try to toot my own horn a little bit, but
Yeah,
anyway, um, dude, that fight played out just the way I thought it was gonna play out, man. Auburn, a legit kickboxer, man. I knew he had the height advantage, and that would give Nagamaru some problems, and it showed. I thought coming out, Allberg established his game plan early, man, and he never let up, and he's chopping them legs to start off the fight. Um, keeping his distance, keeping Nagmaranu at bay, and ultimately, I don't want to say he got desperate, but Nagmaranu kind of rushed in with his hands down, and he got caught, and that was it. And that's really how I saw the fight playing out, man.
yeah, man. When I seen my boy switch stance off that second calf kick, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too. I was like, yeah,
I
we
texted you what 10 minutes before. I was like, "Hey man, get ready for Auburn to get TKO'd," and then damn, had to eat my words, man.
honestly, you're gonna call me crazy, but Allberg was one of the most confident picks I had going into the night, man. Yeah,
All right,
watching film, I just, when you get that that feeling about something, man, it felt right, man, and he
yeah,
delivered. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna get his next fight. He'll get a stiffer test, and man,
yeah,
if he continues to do what he did, man, he could be a player.
yeah. I definitely see him. If they keep giving him friendly striking matches and let him work up to that wrestling, you know what I'm saying? Wrestling style matchup, he'd be a contender, man. Not a contender, but
Yeah,
top 15.
yeah. And once you get in the top 15, you never know.
Yeah.
Anything can happen when you get to that range.
Next fight, we got Montel Jackson picking up a unanimous decision over Julio Arce. We both kind of predicted that one to go that way. It was we knew how good Montel was, we knew how good Julio was, but you know, Julio made the fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people expected.
Yeah, man. That fight kind of played out how I thought it would too. But I'm gonna tell you, Julio was popping that jab early, man. We previewed that in the prediction pod. You
Right.
know that Montel was the better overall MMA fighter, but couldn't sleep on Arce. Had a big boxing background. Like I said, he came out popping that jab. I think he won. In my eyes, I think he won the first round.
Yeah, that
Um,
that takedown at the end was impressive because like Montel has a wrestling background and he's bigger, stronger, and he was able to get it. So I was kind of nervous, bro. Round two and three, I was like, man,
Me
this
too.
could go the other way.
Yeah, me too. And then I'm a piggyback off of that. Like you said, when Arce got that takedown at the end of the round, man, that kind of I was like, yo, I was nervous, man, because I was like, shit.
Yeah,
Uh, Jackson's supposed to be the more seasoned wrestler, and I wasn't expecting that, man. But look, Arce came in with a good game plan. He established it,
Right.
coming, through the first round. But went back to his corner, got back to the drawing board, and really took over from there.
Not a bad loss from Arce. Nobody wants to lose, but if you're gonna lose, not a bad loss. And then Montel, I feel like he knows what he got to work on to get to that next level from that fight. So I think both are gonna continue to go on and have,
Yeah, I agree.
good,
Both guys. I
good
mean,
performance.
they're still early in their careers, man. So you really can't ride neither one of them all after that. After a close fight like that, you know.
Next fight, man, for me, probably the second best fight of the night. You had Mike Trizano versus Sung Choi. And I texted you after weigh-ins. I was like, man, I'm switching up to Trizano because I didn't know he was from New York, bro. And they're fighting in New York. And two, he missed weight, and we know the statistics of guys missing weight. They
Yeah.
usually win. And I don't know, man. I seen something in his eyes and weigh-ins. I was like, bro, you know what? I'm gonna switch up my pick, man.
Yeah, man. This fight, everybody was saying how, the first fight, the Carlos Alberto Nigga Morano fight, set the tone, which I agree. But this was the fight that really, to me, set off the craziness in the Gordon, man.
I mean,
You know,
dude,
they
you
come
had
out,
one
had a,
moment where both guys throw lead hooks and drop each other. Trezano won
yeah,
by TKO, by the way, for everybody watching, wonder what happened. But they had just had one moment where both guys threw lead hooks, knocked each other down. The first round was back and forth. It was pretty entertaining.
yeah, man, it was nuts. Like you said, you took the words out of my mouth. Uh, come out the first round, what, the first 15 seconds?
Hmm.
If that, and then have a double knockdown. Both guys get hurt really bad in the first round. Um, and that this surprised me because Trezano coming into this fight, in my opinion, he was a slower starter. Uh, Choi also had the power advantage, in my opinion, and man, these guys created shots. Choi hurt Trezano, man, and then he started winging shots, getting really desperate.
Yeah,
And I thought he was gonna get caught coming in because he was, I mean, swinging like a bat out of hell. And I say throwing everything out the window, just it
and
was nuts, man. And Trezano ultimately ended up catching him and putting him away. You know.
and think about this: if you're the bigger guy, you miss weight by what, 2 point something pounds. If you're the bigger guy, you're gonna be able to take the punches a little bit better. You're gonna be able to put a little bit more in your punches, and that's kind of what happened. So it is unfortunate, Choi lost to a guy who missed weight. But going back to the last fight, I think it's the same thing. Both guys have bright futures. They're both, they're not old. They're just getting into their prime. So I'm looking forward to see
Yeah.
what they do from here, man.
Yeah, man. And before we move on, I want to kind of talk about the missing weight because I found this out for the first time yesterday. New York is the only state that when you miss weight for the initial weigh-in, they don't give you an extra hour unless you're in a title fight. And man, I don't. To me, that's kind of strange, man. You
Yeah,
know. Um,
and I texted you about this too. Like New York, MMA got legalized maybe like 3, 4 years ago, and everything is new. You don't have judges who've been, you know, doing it for a while. Even you got the refs that been doing it, but all the judges, all the commission, that's all they're 3, 4 years into it.
yeah, man. But to me, that I mean, I understand they're new to it, but at the same time, it's not hard to give anybody an extra hour
Yeah,
to cut weight. I don't understand that. That's a convo for another day, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there and see what your thoughts were on that.
right, right. Yeah, real strange. Next fight we got Carolina. She got the job done versus Juarez in a close fight. I think we both had it 1-1 going into it, and then the last round was whoever wanted it, and it literally came down to a trip. I thought it was a punch at first, but it was a punch disguised a trip, and ended up just doing enough to get the win.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I had it 1-1 going to the last round. Um, really entertaining fight. First of all, really, really fun fight to watch. Um, they delivered, and Gomez had the advantage on her feet, but I was really impressed because, yeah, even though she had the advantage on her feet, Carolina had some moments as well
Yeah, she
on her
landed
feet.
more strikes on paper.
Yeah, man, and I feel like she was the busier fighter in the third round, kind of coming forward. I was yelling at my TV because, when Gomez was putting pressure on her, man, she was backing her up, having real success, and I just feel like it boiled down to Carolina having a little more sense of urgency
Right,
in that
right.
last round, and ultimately the trip. I don't know if you even call it a takedown. I guess they did, but I think that kind of was the difference in the fight, man.
Right, right. And Carolina got a name in the women's division. She might not make another title run, but she can get some decent fights. But I think she's now in the point of her career where, she's gonna be fighting hungry girls coming up. And one thing she's got to fix, man, is her wrestling. I know she's been working on it, but the two takedowns that she had, one was catching the kick, and the second one was the trip. If Carolina can add, a good double leg or something, a body like something to where she can get it to the ground a little bit easier, man, she's gonna be way better off with that. Because right now, like she was struggling getting Juarez to the ground.
Yeah, man. And that that should show something to Juarez needs to work on that too because man, she got it to the ground. She got to the ground off of nothing, man, and that was two big sequences in the fight, man. You
Right,
know, if Juarez keeps it on her feet, man, I think she would have won. The fight that could have went either way.
right.
Both girls can go back to the drawing board and learn a lot from this fight.
And again, if you watched, the last episode, we were both seeing how it can go either way. This was a fight, a pick 'em fight, and you picked Juarez, I picked Carolina, but it easily could have went anyway. It literally came down to one move. But going to the next fight, man, the one that we're excited about. We had Matt Frivola getting the knockout versus Altman. You know, exactly how you called it, Doug.
Yeah, man. First of all, dude, I really wanted this win, but before we dive into this fight right here, I got to give a little shout out to my nephew, man. My little nephew, River.
Yeah.
He's 2 years old. He calls me no. He was watching the fights with me in my room, and he said no. He said, who you think's gonna win, man? And I told him who I wanted to win, and 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 he goes, man. He said, I want the guy in the red trunks to win. I said, no, 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 no. I said, I want the other guy to win. He said, I'm telling you, no. He said, the guy in the red trunks is gonna win. I said, we'll see, buddy. And sure enough, man, yeah, he got the knockout, and he looked at me and he goes, I told you, no. And I was like, you little shit, man. I needed that win to give me the double digits, man. I needed that one. But hey, props to my little nephew. He called that one, man.
I might have to make a trade, man. I might have to replace you with River, man.
Yeah, hey, we'll bring him on for the next episode, dude. Just bribe him with some cookies or something,
And
and
then
he'll sit still.
fruit snacks.
Yo, yeah, he loves his fruit snacks, man. Gummies. He loves them gummies, man.
So, man, I was real surprised. Frivola was the one to get the knockout. I
Yeah,
thought if anything he would get caught, but goddamn, especially going backwards, that was impressive that he caught him going backwards.
yeah, man.
Hey,
Yeah, uh, and yeah, before we go into actually what happened, um, watching that fight, Armor he looked sluggish, man. He looked off,
the
you know.
layoff like 3 years definitely showed.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm not making excuses for him because you got to get up, you got to be ready to go on the whole 9 yards, and Rivola was ready, and but like you said, the layoff really showed, man. You go back and watch Amar's other fights. He's normally a fast starter right away. You know, gets
Hell
on
yeah.
and you know he kind of looked lethargic last night.
Right, right. So the next fight we got Andre Petroski versus Wellington Turman. Petroski getting the decision win using his wrestling. Kind of found himself in some tough spots, but was able to power through. What you thought of his performance, man?
Yeah, man, that fight kind of played out the way I thought it was. For the most part, it did. However, you know, um, I saw I thought Podrosky had a few. I mean, don't get me wrong, his striking is still terrible, so I'm not gonna sway away from that. But he had some moments on his feet. Thurman was obviously the better striker, and it showed.
Right.
What surprised me in this fight, man? A pleasant surprise actually. After the first round, I thought Petrosky and we were texting, during this fight as well, and we both said, man, he's gassed. You
Right.
know, he's getting gassed, and he was. And then it's like after the first round, he came in and he came out and he looked refreshed. You know, I don't know if they gave him a shot of whiskey in the corner or what they did, but man,
Proper
whatever they
12,
did, it
probably.
worked. Yeah, proper 12, man. Shout out to the proper 12. Um, but whatever they did worked, man. You know, they came out. He came out. You know, got in his face, shot in for a takedown, got the takedown, and that's really whenever the fight started really turning in his favor, man.
Right,
And
right.
his wrestling was the difference. Like I said, going into the fight, I thought his wrestling wasn't gonna be the difference. He faced some adversity, got in a few scrambles, ended up, ultimately winning those. And man, he had to when I say grind out a win, that was a grinding win, bro, and that was it's
And
fun to see.
it's so important for these wrestlers, even though like he knows the game plan to wrestle, but it's so important for these wrestlers to get in some striking time in an actual fight because wrestling, you saw when it got to the mat, he got less tired. Totally used to doing that. But when it was standing up, he was kind of breathing heavy. And I think the fights like these where he does have the opportunity to stand up and kind of, get some learning experience is going to go a long way. And he's undefeated in the UFC right now. And you never know. Middleweight is a division that doesn't have a lot of real good wrestlers.
Yeah,
If
I
you can,
agree.
if you can put the striking together, man, you never know. But
Yeah, man.
yeah. Next fight, we both called it. Aaron Blanchfield just on a whole another level, man, and she definitely, definitely proved that. I was excited to see her just do what she did. Molly, respect to her, but damn, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, man. Before we get into the fight, you know what surprised me? Okay, the fights are in New York. Blanchfield's from New York.
Yeah,
Blanchfield's a heavy favorite, odds wise.
right.
And everybody that knows a little bit about MMA you know, would have picked up on that. And the fight starts, and everybody in New York screaming Meatball Molly, Meatball Molly. Like, wow, that's surprising. It's
Yeah,
like nobody even knew who Aaron Blanchfield was.
and that
You know,
just
and
shows
I
you the store power of Meatball Molly.
Yeah, man. And after the fight, I tweeted. I said, Blanchfield, she's a player, man. She's legit.
Definitely, man.
Aaron Blanchfield is legit, man.
Definitely. I'm definitely excited to see her climb for the title, man. I think we're definitely, I don't know if she beat Valentina, but definitely see in the future her fighting better competition and climbing up that ladder, man. We will really see how good she is.
Yeah, man. And honestly, I see it pretty fast, to be honest.
Right. Another fight, man, that kind of caught us by surprise. Ryan Spann versus Dominic Reyes, man. Ryan Spann just showed how much power he got with the jab, knocks out Reyes. Your thoughts?
Wow, is all I can say, man. Reyes, I just, uh, I feel for Reyes, man. It's like ever since he fought John Jones, and I thought he beat John Jones. I'm gonna just put it out there like that. I thought he beat John Jones. Ever since he beat John, don't get me wrong, he's fought the best in the world since then, but he hasn't been the same, man. And we'll get into this convo um, another day. But man, I'm gonna just say, uh, he might be done, man.
Yeah, I think I mean when you fight for the title, you get paid a certain amount of money. UFC got to kind of keep paying you that money when you lost what 3, 4 times in a row, and it's like this. I think we're gonna be seeing them, take a different route, whether it's PFL, Bellator, and I don't know if it'll be a bad thing, but damn, shout out to Ryan Spann, bro. That was super impressive. I think he needed a fight like this to show people that he's not just here right in the middle. He can,
Yeah, man. And you
knock
know
out a
what's
guy who
crazy?
fought for the title, against John Jones, who did good.
Yeah, he cleaned his clock. And you know what's crazy? In the post fight interview with Joe Rogan, he told Joe this is the first time he really ever trained for a fight. Like trained really hard. And Joe was even like, "Damn, dude,
Training.
if you continue to train, bro, I mean,
Yeah.
you're right there, in the mix."
And Span's a guy that, I've seen he's fought in Louisiana a couple times, man, and I always knew he had heavy hands, but God damn, what a jab, bro, against Reyes. Like, even though Reyes might have whatever kind of issues, that's impressive. And yeah, I can't wait to see him fight again. I know that.
Yeah, definitely keep your eye open for Ryan Stan, because Lord have mercy, man. If that don't open your eyes, I don't know what will. Ray Charles and Stephen Warner can see that.
Straight up. Man, probably one of the best post-fight, interviews. We got Renato Moicano choking out Brad Riddell. Man, I, I
Man,
I thought that fight was gonna go a little more, but damn, Moicano just outclassed him, man, everywhere.
yeah. And before we get into it, you kind of jumped on it. I don't know what's more impressive, the fight, his performance, or the post fight interview.
Right.
Because damn, you know Derek Lewis might have a run for his money in post fight interviews now, man.
Hell
You
yeah,
know,
bro. Hell yeah. Like the energy, bro, the fight, everything. Like you couldn't have did better than what he did.
and props to Moicano. It might not seem like much, but props to him on his English, because man, I know it's funny, but dude, if you fight in the UFC, that can help him market himself. Sell fights down the road if he gets a big fight or whatever. And yeah, it was funny. He definitely knows how to curse in English, but overall, um, and he did well. His interview was epic. But getting on to the fight, dude, that kind of I had in my notes, and I said this in the pod. I saw Moicano get into the ground and win it by rear naked choke, which he ultimately did. But he outclassed Brad Riddell on his feet.
Yeah,
That
man.
was nuts. He 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 completely outclassed Brad Riddell in all aspects, man. And the Moicano win and didn't surprise me. The way the finish that he got didn't surprise me, but
Right.
the way he got there really surprised me in a pleasant way, man. Uh, Shout out to Moicano, and look, he's definitely gonna get a step up the ladder in the next fight. We'll see what he can do. That was fun to watch.
Absolutely. All right, going on to the next fight. I know a guy you were excited with his performance, Puelos, taking on Dan Hooker. Damn. Uh, one thing that we never want to see is a guy butt scooting in an MMA fight. Personally, I feel like you're allowed to get kicked in the face as a down opponent if you're butt scooting. But damn, bro. I I it I understand why he fights like that, because if you're just winning with one move, as soon as you get it, like, all right, do I really gotta like, train stand up, whatever, when I'm just tapping out everybody? But when you take that next step up where everybody knows how to defend everything and you gotta be well rounded and you fight a guy like Hooker is gonna expose you. And it's 2022 and we exposing, man. Yeah, Hooker definitely did that.
You see, I gotta disagree with you for a second. On the strength of you said you understand why he did what he did. I don't. Because let me tell you something. When you're on pay per view in Madison Square Garden fighting for the best damn MMA promotion in the world, fighting and fighting, it wasn't Dan Hooker in the top 15 coming into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting a guy in the top 15. Poirier had some hype behind him, and if you win this fight, you're in the mix now, dude. That was terrible, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say it. That was absolutely pathetic. Now, dude, you go into Madison Square Garden, the damn Mecca, the world's most famous arena, on the biggest card of the year,
Right.
one of the biggest cards in a long time, in my opinion. To hell with the year. This was a huge card, in the last 10 years. And all you do is roll for a damn knee bar.
Yeah. Well,
Come on, man.
I'm not saying I agree with him. I definitely don't agree with him. But from a psychological aspect, looking at him as a fighter, I understand why he thought he could just go in there and knee bar everybody because it worked up until then. We see these undefeated guys, especially knockout artists. They win by knockout, win by knockout. What happens when they don't get a knockout, right? Somebody like Ngannou, they start getting wrestled when Stipe wrestled them. I'm not saying I
Yeah,
agree with him. I'm just saying I see from a fighter's mind state, he just ain't got his ass whooped yet. And that was what I saw. You know what I'm saying?
here's my thing, because man, that fight pissed me off. And not
Because you
because
picked
I
him.
picked Marcano, not because I picked Marcano to win and he lost. That's not. I picked other guy fighters to win and they lost. It happens. But listen, man. Obviously, we knew Dan Hooker, was the superior striker by far
Yeah.
going into the fight. We knew Hooker had the reach. We knew Hooker had, all the accolades on his feet. Listen, man, I understand you got to get it to the ground, but damn it, use something to set up a shot instead of just rolling for shit.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
I think Puelos gotta gotta really, 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 really work on literally everything but an Ebor. And Hooker,
Yeah, because
Hooker was supposed to be the stepping stone fight. You got a guy from Peru, not a big market. He can actually step into that market and then drops the bag, man.
yeah, and look, I'm gonna say this one last thing, and then we're gonna move on. But I don't want to be the dead horse. But listen, we knew that Poirier had to get it to the ground. Okay, he tried rolling for leg locks, and look, he almost caught him. So props to him because it was close. He almost got it. And I was by the text and talk my shit. But with that being said,
I don't
man,
know about that, bro.
all almost don't count. Number one, and number two, you have to, dude. Is that all he knows how to do? He
Think
showed
about
nothing else.
think about this, like Ryan Hall.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what Ryan Hall does too. Just
If Shout out to Jiu-Jitsu, bro. Jiu-Jitsu is definitely something you gotta have, but if that's all you have and you're depending on it, it's 2022, man. You gotta train everything. And
yeah, like
with
man,
it,
like
I'm sure he is training everything. Like there's 100% in my mind. He is training everything. But when you're sparring or whatever, take the knee bars away, man. Work on some shit that you gotta work on.
yeah, man, because look, Mick takes some wrestling. I mean, he wasn't even shooting for a takedown. He was just rolling for legs, diving for legs. That's I can't get behind that until he fixes his game and really shows me he can do something. 4 years, I ain't going 4 years until he can show me something else.
So I think we could both agree. He's your top five. He's in your top five.
Yeah, and Uncle D, man, geez, I will, man. Uncle D needs to go in the back and talk to him after that performance.
All right, we got next fight, hard to watch. Chris Gutierrez, KO and Frankie Edgar. God damn.
Yeah, man. You know, from a pick standpoint, I was happy because I picked Gutierrez to win.
Right.
Props to him. He came out fast. Look sharp, man. From the beginning, was quick, touching Frankie early on. You
Mhm.
know, really, I mean, he had his way for the opening bell, man. But look, he set up a beautiful flying knee. Great performance by Gutierrez.
Yeah, yeah,
Now
absolutely.
that that's what you're supposed to do. You know, Frankie was his stepping stone. You understand what I'm saying? And Gutierrez went out there, seized the damn moment, highlight reel knockout, and he's moving on to bigger and better things. With that being said, man, that was heartbreaking to watch. Man.
Absolutely.
Not only because I love Frankie and he had such a great career, but what made it even more uh, heartbreaking was his kids were there, man. And you look, that's the risk you take. But look, man, you don't ever want to see that. That just kind of.
And my thing is, dog, Frankie is an OG. Then put plenty fight of the night performances for the UFC. And like, damn, you gonna give him Chris Gutierrez? Like
Yep.
41 years
Give
old,
give
bro.
it.
Like, give him somebody who is, I don't know, somebody Frankie's gonna fucking beat. And let Frankie go out on a win, man. Like I feel like he deserves that. Not everybody, nobody deserves anything, but damn, if it's gonna be somebody, it's Frankie, man. He fought at 55, being the small guy, put on plenty fight of the nights. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah, man. Frankie, I agree. Has done too much for the UFC and the mixed martial arts as a whole, man. And
Yeah, man.
I feel like they just threw him to the wolves, man. Damn.
Yeah, and like for what? You know what I'm saying? To get a guy in the top 15, I'm not.
Yeah. And dude, they could have still done that for Gutierrez. And look, I'm not taking nothing away from Gutierrez because he looked damn good.
He's good as
He
hell.
looked
That's why I'm saying,
outstanding.
why did you give him the Frankie?
Yeah. I mean,
But hey,
they 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 could have let Frankie go out with a win, or at least give him somebody, that wasn't riding so damn high, man. They
no, I
just
agree.
sacrificed Frankie.
I agree. All right, we did mention a second best fight on the undercard. Now we're breaking down the best fight on the undercard. I mean, on the main card. Dustin versus Chandler, man. What a war. Uh, it came down to like little bitty mistakes, guys capitalizing off of it. First round, we had Dustin kind of getting caught with some big shots, and then towards the later of the round, landing some big shots, almost ending it at the end of the first round. Second round, Chandler finally uses his wrestling, gets it down, kind of controls the second round, and then third round, damn, one little mistake, man, and that's all it takes in this game, especially at that high level. Thoughts on the fight?
Man, first of all, what a fight that was, dude. Um, from the opening bell, dude. I'm gonna tell you, everybody knew that was gonna be the fight of the night. When this card first got announced, I'm talking about months ago. When they said Poirier and Chandler are booked for this card, I
Yeah,
knew it was gonna be a great fight. Everybody knew it was gonna be a war, and it exceeded my expectations, man. This fight was absolutely insane. Before we get into the nitty gritty of the fight, I want to say round one that's gonna be round of the year. It
yeah,
it has to be. Uh, both we both picked Poirier to win, and he ultimately did. We both are big Poirier fans. Like we said, in the prediction pod, he's a hometown guy, so of course, we want him to do well. But man, that first round, he was close to getting stopped, you know, and he even said in the post fight interviews and stuff, if Chandler, and we even brought this up in the prediction pod, Chandler throws in big looping shots, man.
absolutely.
And ultimately, in my opinion, that's what caught him. I mean that's what cost him. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And man, both guys like to brawl. Both guys like to get in a firefight. But we brought that up as well. When the difference when Dustin gets into a firefight opposed to when Chandler gets into a firefight, Dustin's a little more composed. He picks his shots a little more. Yeah, you're gonna kick Dustin. Yeah, you're gonna hurt Dustin most of the time, but that's just the way Dustin fights. With that being said, Dustin stays more composed, picks his shots, and throws straight shots and gets the target better. Chandler throws some big looping shots, man, out of nowhere, and that's really what cost Dustin, man.
Yeah, man.
I
I think
mean, I mean Chandler, you know,
what
and
impressed me the most was we knew Dustin could do everything he went do. We knew he had a good ground game. When it comes to the submissions, knew he can, go into war. But what impressed me, what he did was fighting off the choke from Chandler, staying calm enough, getting
yeah, man.
even though he got taken down again, getting back up to his feet. Like that showed that even late in his career, he's still making those improvements, which I found impressive.
Absolutely, and I wanted to mention that as well, dude. Because you got to remember when he when the first round was going on, Dustin was losing that round big, man. And then Chandler got the takedown. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna control him. Yeah, dude's possibly get a 10-8 round. Then Dustin works his way up, gets to the wall, works his way up, gets back to his feet, and then catches him. And all of a sudden, I'm like, dude, Dustin stole that round, man.
Absolutely.
And I was great to see. Second round, Chandler comes out, gets it to the ground, and controls Dustin, and the whole round. And I was like, damn, ultimately we knew it was gonna ball down to the third and final round,
Right.
and it's the same thing. They kind of trading shots on their feet. Chandler lifts him up for a takedown, and ultimately Dustin slides off. Chandler loses the position, ends up on top of Chandler, lands some good ground and pound, gets his back, and sinks in the choke. That was great to see because everybody, and I even brought it up in the pre-fight, was Chandler had to use his wrestling, which he did, man. I was really impressed by Chandler's game plan because yes, he brawled, but this fight he did mix in some wrestling. So I thought ultimately he fought a lot smarter in this fight than he normally does because he did use his wrestling. He did mix it up, you know. But Dustin, man, it all boils down to grit. Yeah, Dustin, you gotta have technique and you gotta, you know what you understand what you're doing to get out of those situations. But it also boils down to grit and heart, man.
Yeah.
And if anything, bro, I take any Dustin any day in a firefight, man. Because when it gets gritty, he's gonna keep coming, and ultimately he finds a way to win, man.
And it
You
kind of
know.
went back to what we were saying, we got Chandler 4 UFC fights. We got Dustin at least over 25 UFC fights. When it comes down to little things, Chandler sliding off the back, Dustin capitalizing off of it in a 1-to-1 fight going in the third round. It's not new territory. It's for one guy. And even if Chandler went into that territory with other guys, it's only 4 times compared to over 25. So,
Yep. And I figured that would have been a played a factor, and ultimately it did. Like we said, I mean, hey, Bellator is a big promotion, but dude, there's levels to the fight game. There's levels to promotion for a reason. And
absolutely.
Dustin, the UFC vet, done seen it all, and he came through, man.
Yeah, man. Um, we got our co-main event, Wei Lee and New. Man, impressive performance against Carlos Esparza. If anything, I had Wei Lee winning by knockout or, TKO and to beat her at her own game on the ground. Super impressive. She's shown that, she's not just a threat on the feet. She's not just a good athlete. She's a mixed martial artist, and that was a beautiful display of every aspect, getting it down. Really solid performance.
Yeah, man. I'm a dude. You took the words out of my mouth again. I had Waiting winning. I had Waiting stopping this for them. But however, like you said, I thought Carlos Esparza had the clear advantage on the ground, and then Wei Lee, dude, I'm gonna just say, Wade Lee outclassed on her around, dude. Everywhere it went, Wade Lee had the advantage, man, and she had a dominant. She showed a dominant performance, and ultimately ended up submitting Carla as far as the man. That's unbelievable
And like
because
the
even
way she did it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Usually you finish a rear naked choke with both hooks in, right? She was in a crucifix position, which shows you how strong this girl is. And you might see that with heavyweights, 205ers, but you don't see that with lighter people. And again, at the lightest weight class, like shows you how strong this girl is.
yeah, man, and even in the wins on this card, dude, like you know, I'm gonna go back to Justin's fight for 1 second to tie it into this fight as well.
Right.
Man, we had Dustin winning, we had Dustin stopping channel, but who had Dustin winning by rear naked choke? Nobody. Who
Right.
had Wade Lee winning by rear naked choke? Nobody. So even in some of the stoppages, man, the way the stoppages happened, dude,
Crazy.
you go back to the Brad Riddell Moicano fight. Yeah, I had Moicano winning by rear naked choke, which he ultimately did. But look at the work he did on his feet. He outclassed Brad Riddell on his feet as well. This fight was so. I mean, this card as a whole was so unpredictable, man. It was so fun to watch from top to bottom, dude. And getting
Absolutely.
back to Wade Lee, with what she did last night showed that she's one of the best well-rounded women out there. And I'm gonna tell you, I think Wade Lee's gonna rule that division for a really long time, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see her win. Hopefully they get her, a fight in China. Would love to see that. But yeah, she's that girl right now. Um,
Absolutely.
Main event, man. You said you had 3 words for me, and those 3 words proved to be right. I'm gonna go ahead and let you break down this fight and your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? See what you think.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I got to toot my own horn for a second, G Money,
Yeah,
because I told you going into this fight, Israel Adesanya was the better mixed martial artist, and he still is the better mixed martial artist. But man, when it all boiled down to it, Izzy was controlling the fight. Okay, I had it 1-1 after 2 rounds. Izzy came out, you know, had a good round in the third round. Pereira had good moments in the third round as well. One little mistake cost him. Izzy ended up getting to the ground, controlling from there. The fourth round, Izzy I thought, could have got Pereira out of there in the fourth round. He
right,
didn't. Pereira goes back to the stool. Horner tells him, "Look, man, you're down 3-1. You got to get a stoppage." And I think it was Joe Rogan that brought this up on the broadcast. He said, "Man, Izzy's in the driver's seat. However, this round could get crazy because Pereira knows he's got to finish it, and Pereira don't have to save anything for another round. He can empty the tank right here, right now."
right,
And ultimately, that's what he did, man. He went out, got right in his face, you know, all dude. And he was getting tired. He looked so tired, after the fourth round.
big weight cut.
But I think, oh yeah, the weight cut played a huge part in it. But I think him saying, "Hey man, I got 1 round left. Uh, I can let it all hang loose right here." That kind of gave him a second win, so to speak.
All right,
He got his face and he got Izzy backed up against the cage. He couldn't go anywhere because you go straight back, you get wherever all he was gonna do was run into the cage, and I had that in the build up. That's really how I saw the fight finishing was Izzy. I mean, I'm sorry, Pereira getting Izzy, backing him up against the fence and catching him, man, and that's what he did. Um, Izzy, man, I think I don't want to say that Izzy disrespecting him or underestimating him because I don't think that's what he did. But Izzy still, like I told you in a pre-fight, you cannot let this guy hang around with you and especially on his feet. You
Right.
have to make it an MMA fight for 25 minutes, and he slipped up for one round, and that's what did it, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, so I see people on social media saying something about a premature stoppage. I can maybe see that. I can see their point of view. However, man, he was hurt. I'm gonna tell you, they had 2.5 minutes left in the round, maybe 3 minutes, at least 2 minutes left. I don't think Izzy would have got out of that round. I
Yeah.
don't. You know.
Yeah, I think the ref saved him for the rematch.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm the champ, put me out, man. Like, let me fight till the death. But I can see why the ref stopped it. I can see why Izzy was mad. I see it both ways. One thing that I will point out, this might have been the worst thing, and I might sound crazy like this, but this might have been the worst thing that happened for Izzy was him catching him good in that first round, giving him a little bit
Yeah.
more
Because they gave
confidence
him too
to
much. Yeah. You're
right.
right.
And man, it sucks when you got 3 minutes left and you're putting on a good fight and a guy with Pereira, man, only takes one punch. But I do have to give credit to his coaches, man, because for him to take that fourth round off was genius. Knowing that you only got to land one punch in the fifth round, cut the guy off. You downloaded enough data on what this guy's going to do in this fight in the last round to take round four off. Genius.
Yeah, man. And going into the fifth and final round, that was something out of a Rocky movie. If you listen to his corner, they were like, "Look, dude, you got to go in there. You have to stop him.
Right.
Empty the tank." Because a lot of cornermen, and I hate this when this happens. A lot of cornermen like to get their man to the finish line and get into more victories. Oh, it's a close fight. You win in the fight. No, no, no. You need to be honest with your fighter.
Right.
You need to tell him, look, man, you gotta go. You know, and props to his corner, man. They had him ready to go. They had a game plan. They executed it to the T. Um, yeah, Pereira still way behind on the ground, man. But again, he stuck to his strong suit. When he got to the ground when he was uncomfortable, he was able to survive. Get back up to his feet. Start off the round fresh. And dude, props to Pereira, man. Big props to
Absolutely.
Pereira.
Absolutely, man. Another good fight. Might have been fight of the night on any other card, but this one just had so many crazy fights. Before we leave, I gotta ask you, man, rating UFC 281 from 1 to 10, what do you give it?
20.
Yeah, facts, bro. I agree with you on that.
Listen, man. Before we head out of here, from top to bottom, I said this in the prediction pod, and I'm gonna say it again. If you missed any fight on this card, and you get a chance to go back and watch it, whether it's the early prelims, the prelims, or the main card, go back and watch every freaking fight on this card was insane. Um, man, it was worth every penny. Put it to you that way.
Most definitely, man. And we'll keep trying to give y'all the best insight. Those who followed my bets, you know what I'm saying? We won some money. We'll continue to put that out. Make sure to follow us on Instagram on Bet On It MMA. And if you think disagree with us, agree with us, comment in the comment section. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for more videos, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. We'll be back soon, guys.
Yes, sir.